Hi, this is Kathy Day, and this is my first attempt at a screencast blog entry, so we'll see how this goes. I want to talk to you about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, academia and websites. I have a love-hate relationship with academia and websites, as you will soon see. And I have a lot to say, so I have a feeling this is going to just be a part one. So number one, okay, here's a metaphor. My employer, who I love you, Ball State University, and they are not alone in having this policy, so I'm not trying to put them down or anything, but my employer will not allow me to put kathyday.com on my university business card. And so what happens is that when I go to conferences, as I often do, I have to make little stickers with that web address and stick them on the back of my cards so that people can find me online. Because when people ask me for my card, the only way that they would be able to contact me after looking at my card would be to email me at my BSU email address, which receives, I don't know, 50 to 100 emails a day and can very easily be lost. I would much more rather that when people contact me as a writer, that they go to my writer email address, which is kathy@kathyday.com. So I certainly can't put my university website URL on my card because that's what it looks like, and it's really long, and there's nothing I can do about that. There's no way to change it. When you Google me, this is what you find. If you're trying to find me, the first thing you go to is my kathyday.com website, which is good. Then you could go to my Ball State University website, which is the long URL I just showed you, except that I'm listed there as Catherine Day, not Kathy Day, because Catherine Day is my legal name, and Kathy Day is my writer name, and there's nothing I can do to change that. So hopefully you would realize that that was me if you didn't know that I worked at Ball State University. And then my Twitter and my Facebook. And then this morning, this guy Ted Striffus, who I follow, who published a book a couple years ago called The Late Age of Print, tweeted this. He says, "My new Indiana University academic website is finally up and running. Feedback welcome. Simple, indiana.edu/bookworm. That's his university academic website." And I'm like, how awesome is that that's what it is? How awesome would it be if mine was bsu.edu/tilde Kathy Day? Why isn't it? Why couldn't that happen? And this kind of led me to think about, if a university wants you to have a national visibility, which they do, should they help you go to conferences, which all schools do to varying degrees of reimbursement for going to conferences, and could they also help you maintain a website, since your national visibility these days is often dependent on the degree to which people can find you online. For writers in academia who are listening to this or watching this, where is your hub? Is it at your university? Is it a presence on your publisher's website? Is it your own website? Or do you have presences in all of those places, and can people find you easily if they're looking for you? Depending on the way in which they're trying to find you, or why they're trying to find you. Whose job is it to build and maintain your university, or probably more importantly, your department's website? What resources in terms of both staff and money, if any, have been devoted to this? And I can only say that in every department that I've worked in over the last 20 years, and that there's been 4, that there's been, as the need to have a website for a department has grown, the resources for it have not grown in keeping with that. Most of the time, the job of maintaining a website is usually handed to a staff member who is usually doing 50 million other things, and then is told, oh, also you need to do the website too. Some departments have their own webmaster, but many don't, and so it's very difficult to have any control or to keep any kind of departmental URL website updated. So let me go out of this and kind of show you a few things. So this is, when I went to the indiana.edu bookworm, this is what I found, which was Ted Striffus, his home. This is a link to just a brief description of all the different research that he does, a page on all the different classes that he teaches, and a link that goes to descriptions of all those classes, the different press that he's gotten over the years, and a PDF of his Vita and a way to contact him. And then this link, Facebook link, takes you to the Facebook page for his book Late Age of Print, and this link would allow you to follow him on Twitter. And so, like, let's say that you were CNN and you wanted to interview him about the late age of print and print culture. You would come to this and you would be able to find what you were looking for. You would probably go to his press and see, like, well, who else has he talked to? And if you were a student, you could say, or a potential student, or if you're checking him out because you're thinking about going to Indiana University for grad school, you could go to his teaching hub here and find out more about that. Or if you're interested in his research, you could find out more about that. And so it's just a really simple way to, like, have everything all in one place. And look, it's indiana.edu at Bookworm. It's not just Bookworm. Now, before this existed, and I only know this because I've been sort of weirdly stalking this guy for a couple of years, this was his university website, university page. And you can see it's indiana.edu / something, 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 very complicated. And I'm sure that all the faculty in the English department at IU have a very similar kind of page with their publications and articles, and all that good stuff. And here you can see that they've updated it, so they also have his curriculum vitae and a link to that new web page. So till this, Ted Striphas had this, and he had this, which was like his blog for the book, The Late Age of Print. And it had, an about him and his bio and his contact and ways to download things. And so his presence as an author was basically housed here, and his presence as a university teacher was housed here. And I guess what I'm saying is that the thing that I have felt over the last few years is that my university self is something, and is something separate from my writer self, although they're supposed to be integrated, right? I mean, that's why I have a job, is that my writer self, kathyday.com, is part and parcel of this. Now, I am pleased that my university website, I was able to link out to my own website with information about my books, and also to other things that I'm interested in, and also to my own blog that I maintain at kathyday.com. It's called The Big Thing. But the thing is that I was not able to, if you're my student, you wouldn't be able to get to this, which is the blog that I keep for my novel writing class, which my students use, but anybody is welcome to look at. It's got lots of resources. This is my blog for my linked stories class. And then I also have a blog for the literary citizenship class that I teach at Ball State as well. And so all of these different websites and blogs are sort of scattered all over the place. And then I found this thing called About Me, which enables me to create very simply like an online hub. It's got my bio, and it's got a way to connect with me online, and it's got links to all my different blogs, and sort of like it's like a one-stop hub. And I wish actually that this About Me could be this, or could be this, but it's hard to find a way to bring all of those things together. Like I said, I've got, it just amazes me that Striphas was able to have his university host something like this, and how good is it for Indiana to have, every time that you look up something about this guy, it says indiana.edu him, not just tedstriphas.com. It's something that they're attached to, and they sort of gain from that. So I think that's kind of interesting to think about. I'm going to sign off. Hopefully this has given you a lot to think about, and maybe I will continue the conversation later if anybody wants me to. Thanks a lot.